Simon Foulds is from the Langham Partnership. He joins me today to talk about their new campaign. But, I mean, it is a sobering thought, Simon, that people could genuinely want to understand more about God and Jesus and what he's done for them and disappear down a rabbit hole somewhere.
Yeah, indeed. Good morning, Paul. Thanks for inviting me on this morning. Absolutely. I think, our founder, John Stott, was the rector at All Souls, Langham Place, hence the name Langham. And he travelled the world and saw exactly what you were just sharing, that the faith is growing. People are coming to know Jesus as their saviour. And that's growing, greatly. But that's the issue, that it is growing greatly, but the depth of the faith is literally an inch thick. And as soon as something comes along and questions their faith, or something goes wrong and they get knocked, as invariably we do, they lose faith. They say, where's Jesus in this when, I thought he was going to be good? And like you were sharing, things like the prosperity gospel just aren't true and aren't helpful. And we need to get people the resources, the training, so they can delve deeper into their faith and just have those answers when they come along. Here in the UK or in the Western world, we've got plenty of books, we've got plenty of theologians, we've got resources, we've got radio stations, so we can deepen our faith. But for vast majority of parts of the world, that's not the case, and they need depth of faith. They need the resources to make their faith grow in depth as well as width.
And let's be honest, I mean, even here where we've got plenty of resources, the truth is, there's still an awful lot of us that when we come up against a difficult situation, we too cry, where is God in this? And more than a few people have kind of lost their way with their faith in that. Isn't there a sense, though, that in the same way that he has protected his word throughout history, isn't there a sense that if people genuinely want the reality of Jesus, he will ensure that they find that path?
I think it'll definitely find the path, but I think it's for people around us. We're never individuals in this, are we? We need to be part of fellowships. We need to be part of churches, and so we're never in this alone. So it's those people that are around us. Like we have our ministers, our support groups, our prayer groups. It's them that we need to work with and build on. So with Langham, we have our preaching clubs. And pastors around the world will become part of this club, and they'll be part of that club for as long as they want to be. There'll be 6-10 of them that will come together regularly just to share, encourage each other, look at each other's sermons, productively critique what they're going to say, and just build each other up. So it is that we've got to be together. Yes, God will put us on the right path, but he'll also put us on a path with people to support us as well, I think.
So tell us about the campaign that you are launching and how people can get involved with this and what you hope it will do. It's called Magnify.
It's called Magnify, and we've called it Magnify. That's from the Psalms. And what we want to do is magnify God's kingdom. God's kingdom is there. It always has, always will be there. But we want to put a magnifying glass on it and show people what is happening around the globe. And for us to be encouraged that, here in our local community, we might not see our faith growing, but around the globe it really is. And we need to really be encouraged what God is doing around the world. So we want to share with people what is happening around the globe, and that they're encouraged, that people are coming to faith. But also at the same time, that we're blessed by that, that we can be encouraged, because as you said at the beginning, Paul, we're part of that global village, we're part of God's kingdom, wherever we are. And so they can bless us by having that information, but also we can bless them with our support, our prayers, our giving, and doing that. And what Langham wants to do with the Magnify campaign is pretty much double our work. We want to double our impact around the globe. So I've talked about the 10,000 preachers that we're supporting at the moment. We want to double that around the globe, so there's more pastors that are trained. And an astounding figure that always got me when I first joined Langham was that it's about at least 8 out of 10 pastors around the globe have no formal training.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've got to change that, and that's what Langham's all about. That we believe, every church, every community deserves a well-trained pastor, and that's what we're part of. So we want to double our work, and we've launched this campaign to do that. We launch it tomorrow. We're going back to where we were founded, All Souls at Langham Place, right next to the broadcasting house, and we're there tomorrow morning from 10 o'clock onwards. People have been very welcome to come and join us for the morning. We're finishing with lunch. We finish at lunchtime with lunch, and just during the morning we'll hear from our international staff, Teo, our international director, Chris Wright, our ministries director. We've got Peter Penner coming, who's been heavily involved in one of our commentary books that's been produced, and just to excite us and enthuse us all what is happening around the globe, and for us to be part of that, like I was saying, that we can be blessed by hearing what's happening tomorrow morning, but also what's our response to that we need to bless those people so that they can get to know the gospel in depth, as perhaps we do as well.
And even if you can't make it to the event tomorrow, well, it's all, of course, online, because everything is these days, isn't it? There is a dedicated website. It's called magnify.org.uk. Explains what Magnify is all about. But it is this incredible thought that around the world, the vast majority of people around the world who are leading churches, so limited in the resource that they have, things that we would take for granted, things that we would assume would be an essential, not a luxury, and yet it's very different for many of them. And you can find out about the biblical books, the training that will be offered to local preachers, and the equipping of theological leaders that comes through Langham Scholars. You can find out all about it by going to the website magnify.org.uk. And if we lift our eyes beyond the horizon to see what others need, perhaps it should also give us pause to consider how blessed we are when we look at our own leaders, listen to our own preachers, have access to our own resources to deepen our understanding of God. Magnify.org.uk. Simon is from Langham. Great to speak to you, Simon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Paul.